Precious cornerstone, sure foundation, you are faithful to the end. We are waiting on you, Jesus. We believe you're all to us. Precious cornerstone, sure foundation, you are faithful to the end. We are waiting on you, Jesus. We believe you're all to us. Let the glory of your name be the passion of the church. Let the righteousness of God be a holy flame that burns. Let the saving love of Christ be the measure of our lives. We believe you're all to us. Holy Son of God, sent from heaven, hope and mercy at the cross. You are everything, you're the promise. Jesus, you are all to us. Let the glory of your name be the passion of the church. Let the righteousness of God be a holy flame that burns. Let the saving love of Christ be the measure of our lives. We believe you're all to us. Let the glory of your name be the passion of the church. Let the righteousness of God be a holy flame that burns. Let the saving love of Christ be the measure of our lives. We believe you're all to us. You're all to us. You're all to us. You're all to us. Yes, you are. You are. You're all to us. You're all to us. You're all to us. You are. When this passing world is over, we will see you face to face, and forever we will worship Jesus. You are all to us, all to us. Jesus, you are all to us.
Quarter, we are studying about the book of Exodus. And if you are new to our channel, if you are new listening to us, there are actually avenues in which you can join with us. You can join in my Facebook page and also in Aspire International Facebook page and also in Aspire International YouTube channel. where you can put your comment and you can engage with us as well. And we are also live in our Zoom, my dear friends. So um, the Zoom number will appear in the screen, and you can call and you can join with us in our study tonight. I'll share it to you with our screen. There you can see in your screen the Zoom ID meeting, and of course the passcode, which is Aspire. Just take down the numbers that you are going to log in into Zoom, and you can call, and you can engage with me, and we can put that as well in online, so everybody can see and everybody can hear what you are going to contribute with our study for tonight. Again, the number is found in your screen: 843-841-09831. So jot it down, get into Zoom, and log in, and put the password Aspire, and then you can join with me live with our study for today. So our study this week is entitled "The Burning Bush." You can find that in your screen. There you are, the burning bush. We will going to learn how about what this story tells us, and if this is really significant in our day-to-day life today. So, my dear friends, so here we are. We are going to study. We're about to learn the book of Exodus, and in this particular week, we are learning the burning bush, my dear friends. So, our key text is found in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 7 to 8, which you can see in your screen. I put it in so you can read it for yourself. There we go. Is our key text is found in that book. If you have Bibles with you, get your Bibles and open it in the book of Exodus. Here we are. We are going to study about the text. Did you find it? Let me put it to you. You can probably see it now in your screen. That's why here we are. Let me go again if you can see it. Oh, oops. Hang on a minute. Okay. We have a. Let me find it for you so um, you can read it. There you can you see it in your screen? No, it's just probably. Hang on. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna read it to you. Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 and 8. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for that I know their sorrow. So I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of Egyptian, and bring them up from that land to a good land, and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey. So that is the memory verse, or the key text that we are learning for today. So we all know from last week that Moses was born in Egypt and he became a prince, but he killed the Egyptian and he fled away from Egypt and he went into a land of Midian, and there he hid himself. He met his wife, established his family, and there. He has a lot of animals, and he became a shepherd. So he was tending a sheep. And one day, he encountered this very strange phenomenon about a bush that is burning. And that bush actually, you know, wondered him how come it didn't really burn. So he came in there and go and you know um, he wondered. So then he encountered, and there's a voice that says, "Come, I will send you to Pharaoh that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." And there, Moses, he went, as he heard this reason, talking to him, asking him to go down to Egypt and lead the people out of their suffering, out of their agony, out of their oppression. We all know last week that the Israelites living in Egypt under oppress. So there God called him to go back to Egypt and lead and take the people out. But Moses has got reason to excuse for himself. And there were 4 reasons that Moses, talked to God. He had a candid conversation. And he said, first of all, that who am I? Who am I to go there to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel? You can read that in Exodus chapter 3, verse 11. So here, Moses was telling God that I am insufficient and I have the inability to do what you require of me to perform this very important task, because this is not just an ordinary thing that you have been asking for me, leading out the people out of Egypt. And who am I to do that? Well, he's been there in the field or in the wilderness, tending his sheep. He probably forgot it already. His training in Egypt. He realized that he was not fit to become a prince because of what had happened. So now God wanting him to go back and say, well, I told you that you are not capable. But here, Moses humbled himself before the presence of God. It's very important to humble ourselves before God when God asked us to do something, because our knowledge, our ability, and our capacity is, insufficient to do God's task. This is what we can learn from Moses in here. So he's telling himself, "Oh Lord, I am not worthy to do what you are asking me to do. Who am I to do that?" But God said to him, "Well, I'll be with you." In verse 12 in chapter 3, "I will be with you, and I'll give you a sign. And when you brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God in this mountain." So here, God's promise, God's promise, his presence, assuring Moses. This is an all-inclusive in assurance that includes everything. It says in there that Moses, even though you are insufficient, I'll be with you, and I'll give you a promise to do that. But then, Moses, being assured the promise of God, he said that, well, if I go there, what I'm gonna tell to them? If they're gonna ask me who you are, what is your name, in verse 13, what should I say? And here, Moses was telling God that he didn't know God. But the truth is, while Moses was in the wilderness, he was writing the book of Genesis. And he was describing the story of Abraham, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And it seems that Moses here is just making an excuse to God that if they ask me, oh, if I know you, then what I gonna tell them? This is some quite funny, fascinating, because Moses wrote the book of Genesis, and he knows that God is the creator. God is I am who I am. When God revealed himself to the father of Israelite, to Abraham and Isaac. So he was hiding behind the ignorance of God's people. He rightly claimed that they did not know God personally. How would they know Moses as if he is an appointed leader? But here was the response of Moses, of God to Moses. It says in here, God said to Moses, I am who I am. Say that to the people of Israel, that I am the one who sent you. And say to the people of Israel that the Lord God your father, the God of your Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the one who sent to you. That is my name forever. I am to be remembered throughout all the generation, my dear friends. So you can see in there that God again revealed himself to Moses. And here we can say that the one talking to Moses is the angel of the Lord. You can see that he is the angel of the Lord. The Lord patiently explained to Moses that he is eternal, personal, and real God. And he is the God of history who leads Israel's forefathers. And he is the God of Abraham, of Jacob, Isaac, the God who communicated with them and took care of them in his love and mercy. And he is the God who gave them his promise that he would bring them to a land flowing with milk and honey, with God's abundance blessing, my dear friends. So how really cool is that? That this is the promise of God to Moses, the angel of the Lord, my dear friends. So that is somewhat like Moses already had got the idea of who he is and who is God. And it seems that he's gonna be out of reason anymore about knowing God. But the third reason that Moses was explaining is that, what if they don't believe me or listen to me? Oh, it's a good excuse, right? Sometimes we do that. The people are not listening. They don't listen to me. And then Moses answered and said, but suppose they will not believe and listen to me, to my voice, and suppose they say, the Lord has not appeared to you. How come the Lord did not appear to him because in this encounter, the Lord is talking to him already. He wrote the book. He was inspired by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit and God, dictate him what to write. This time, God is talking to him personally. So there you can see that God says to Moses by pointing to the hesitancy of Israelites. Moses is saying, well, they're gonna be hesitant towards what I'm saying to you, who they who you are. So God told Moses in verse 4, chapter 4, verse 12, Moses, if they don't listen to you, here's what you're gonna do. Moses was able to change his rod into snake. That's a miracle. He put his hand into his bosom. It became leprous. He took it out, and then it come back again. And God said that if they are not convinced that I'm the one talking to you, the third miracle that you're gonna do, you take the water of the river from the Nile and put it on the ground, it will turn into blood. And finally, God, is that enough to clear your doubts, Moses? Is that really convincing for the people of Israel that they will listen to you what you are going to say, but if not, if you read there, I already prepared this for you. And the fourth reason, that fourth excuse that Moses is saying is that I am not eloquent. In other words, in our term, I am not a good speaker. I have never been an eloquent. Well, he remember that he was a prince in Egypt. He was being trained how to talk and stand before the crowd. But here it comes, he's saying that I could not talk properly to these people. Maybe it's like kind my tongue is tied. But the Lord said to him, what did the Lord say to Moses? Who has made your mouth? Who makes the mute, the deaf, and and the blind, and the see? Have I not the Lord? Now therefore, I'm the one who give you everything: eyes, mouth, and ears. Go and I will be your mouth and teach you what to say. Here again, the Lord and God is saying that if you cannot talk, if you cannot if you cannot say something properly, just go and I will put the words in your mouth and I'll speak to you. But he said, "Oh Lord, please, this time, he has no more reason to tell the Lord, saying that all his questions is being answered. He has the promise. God put his words in his mouth. He knows already who is God, and if he is insufficient, God will give him a capacity to do it. But since Moses is so adamant, he's so hesitant, and he is so reluctant to do what God asked him to do. Remember that Moses was adamant, hesitant, and reluctant. And this time, he said to God, "Oh Lord, please, send someone else instead of me. Whomever you will send." Is the response of Moses. Look at that. Oh my Lord, send by hand whomever else you may send. In other words, he's commanding God to pick someone else instead of him to go and be the one to deliver the message to the people of Israel. Wow, Moses. So it's here We all know that Moses again wrote the book of Genesis. We can see that Moses wrote the book of Genesis. He knows the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. He heard the voice of God from the beginning. How can he be adamant and hesitant and reluctant to go? Um, all all his reasons has been answered for that. All his questions uh, has already God point out to him. And not only that, he was empowered by the miracle and the promises of God. So, my dear friends, so here we can see that God is the God who hears, sees, and lead the people of Israelites. You can find that in Exodus chapter 2, verses 23 to 25, and Exodus chapter 3, verses 7 to 8. So God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God acknowledged them. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrow. So I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of Egyptian, and to bring them up from the land to a good and large land. Here is Moses God is saying to Moses that I heard, I see, and I want to acknowledge the suffering of my people, the oppression. Now I want to deliver them. I want to take them out. I want to save them. I need you, Moses, to go with me. God actually can do that by himself, but God is asking us to cooperate with him for his plan in saving his people. You know, um, aren't you privileged if God is asking you to be His partner in doing a mission in saving humanity, in saving His people from their oppression and their sufferings, my dear friends? So, what is the application for that in our life today? God knew their miseries, affliction, crying, tears, groaning, exploitation, and suffering. Be assured that God knows your suffering, your pain, your trouble, your struggles, oppression, tears, misery, disappointments, unfulfilled hopes, exploitation, abuse, violence, affliction, hearts, distress, harms, and mistreatments, my dear friends, and as thoroughly as he knew what the Israelites experienced, my dear friend. You say, um, God knows the situation of Israelites before, and He is the same God today, and He knows you and me what we are going through with our current and present life. Whatever you name it in there, oppression, and agony and suffering, and if you are in a suffering with abuse or in distress and in any harm, God now is wanting to deliver you and to save you from that kind of situation. And in here, as well as for us, God asked us to do His mission. Two things that we are learning from here. God also wants us to be used by Him to deliver the message of salvation and deliverance, and take them and lead them out of their situation, as what He did to Moses. But we all know that eventually Moses was convinced. Moses had out of reason anymore, so he went and he go to the land of Egypt and became a leader that will take the people of God, his children, out of that bondage, my dear friends. So, and we are going to learn more next as we study the book of Exodus, what had happened when Moses was there in Egypt and he's taking lead as his people. So finally, he asked, he cooperated and he did the mission of God, my dear friends. So, for our reflection for tonight, for this study, what is your real condition today? It seems that God looks like is not hearing your cry. How can you be assured that God is saying, listening, and leading, and He is ready to rescue you? You know, what is whatever you are in right now, in whatever circumstances in your life, you know, God is listening your cry. You know, it seems that you think that, well, maybe God is too far from me, is out of reach. But in this story, God shows to us that He is active. He is really opening His ears to listen to whatever our groanings and our crying. And, you know, He is ready to rescue you. Are you ready to be rescued by God? You know, in this book, the book of Exodus is talk about God who is the deliverer, God who is loving, God who is performing his promises. And the other thing is that what are your reasons of being reluctant to go when God asks you to do His mission? Yeah, there is any doubts and fears in your life that you want to express to God when God calls you and say to you that do this for me. Tell the people that I'm going to save them. What is your reason? All right, okay, my dear friends. So that is our study for tonight. And now, if you are ready to engage and to contribute to what you have learned from this week's study, can you go and to Zoom? Let us look if there is someone in our Zoom or they have already made comments, and we can project your comments on that, my dear friends. Let us see if there are some people who are really, really listening to us and making us a contribution ready for what they have heard tonight. You know, come on, this is us to study God. You know, we I feel that all of us should know the message of God, and you can join and contribute to God. Is this someone that uh, we can we can call? Are you ready for your contribution? What you thought about it? Or what thought with what thought do you have with regards to what we have learned and studied tonight? And what are your takeaways that you can bring with you every day wherever you go? So, are you ready to contribute what you have learned from us tonight? Let us say if we have a caller here, call in our number. So, if you are already engaging, 843-841-0981. You know, that's our ID, and the password is Aspire. So, here we go. I'm waiting for someone to call and join with me and contribute to our study for tonight. We designed this to you as our listeners. Maybe you are new to encounter this. I've been sharing this before for the past 7 years, and I keep sharing to you the Word of God, our lesson for the whole week, for every quarter of the year. And I do feel that I need your input. I need your contribution of what you have learned, so I can learn from you as well. Okay, it's good to share because sharing is a form of caring, and in return, it is loving. So I do love you, my dear friends. So if you want to call, if you want to join uh, and contribute for tonight's study, this is a very short presentation, but full of learning and lessons that it's still relevant in our day-to-day life, because we know that the God of Abraham and Isaac, of Jacob, is a living God, and He is, still um, doing and engaging in all the affairs of this world. He knows each one of us, wherever you are, whatever condition you have been going through at this moment. You are being watched by God, and if you cry to God, He is listening to you, and I be assured that He will send someone to deliver you from that difficult and distressful situations that you have in your life. God is just waiting a perfect time for that He can send someone to you. But if you feel that this is the time now, as I share to you, that God is calling you, God is drawing you, God is ready to take care of you and deliver you, God is talking to you at this time. So I can share to you, based on this story, that God is really forgiving, loving, bountiful in love, merciful, kind, and just. And He is what He's inviting you to come to His presence, to Him. Come to Him, and ask Him, Lord, you know, um, you know my situation right now. Please send someone to save me, my dear friend. So here we go. Well, if we don't have time, we have someone here to ready to contribute. My dear friends, do we have some live comments that we can bring to the screen for us, so I can read it for myself and share it to you? Let me see if there is someone in there that making a comment, and I can read for myself. So here we go. Happy Sabbath, Brother Elmore, from engineer, an engineer, OC engineer here in Australia. Happy Sabbath too, brother. Thank you for making such greetings and a comment. I do really appreciate that. So here, because it is somewhat maybe new to you and new to all of us, well, what we are doing here right now, um, maybe next week you are more prepared, you are more ready to contribute. Give us a call. There are three avenues in which you can send your comments. And if you want really to talk, here's the Zoom that you can call, and we can bring you in, live in our sharing and presentation. And if you want to make a comment on our YouTube channel, Aspire International Ministry, and as well as in our Facebook page. It's the same name, Aspire International Ministry. Why Aspire? Because we want people to aspire for themselves, to get ready, and get involved and be prepared when the Lord comes in this world. So I would like to thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. And I think no one yet share this to your friends and to your family members as well, what we are sharing for tonight, so that next Friday they can join and they can engage with us. All of us can engage. If you join in the Zoom meeting, and I can bring you out, we can put you into a live presentation, what your takeaways and what your thoughts about what we are learning every week. So keep on studying the book of Exodus. It's an very exciting book, full of of a real story in life. That we can draw lessons from there, and more importantly, we can see that God is alive and working. So thank you very much for joining with me, and may the Lord bless you, and may the Lord will keep you, and bless you, and may you have a wonderful Sabbath. For some of you already started the Sabbath, and for those who are in the other side of the world, may you enjoy God's holy day, fellowshipping with Him. Let us bow our heads for a word of prayer before we close. Oh Lord, thank you so much, dear Father, that here tonight you reveal yourselves to us, that you are our God, that is alive, the God of Abraham, and the God of Jacob, and the God of Isaac, and He's a true God that who listens and cares for His people. And we long that every day, dear Lord. And I pray for the people who are listening at this moment, wherever they are, dear Lord. You know their situation. I cannot see it, but you see it, dear Lord. I cannot hear them, but you hear them. They're groaning and they're crying. Lord, send someone to deliver them and bless them as well, dear Lord. Send someone that will give them an inspiration, dear Lord, and lift them up in their current situation. I pray that you will fulfill your promise to each one of us as you did before in the past, dear Lord. So thank you so much for hearing our prayers. This we ask all in Jesus' name.